Sitaram, everybody. And as we get set to listen to tonight's discourse, before we go, I just go into the Yagya. I want to invite each and every person for Bhagwat 2025 at the Sri Krishna Seva Ashram. You are all invited. Whether you would like to help us cook, get involved in making mala, bring your children so that we can teach them, or maybe you would like to sit for prayer. Once you follow the rules of fasting and preparing yourself that we all know and we've come to practice when we have prayer, the door is open for you to come and take part. Please give me a call. You have my number on the screen. When the Yagya starts, use it. Call me for more information. The dates on the invitation, again, from the 3rd to the 10th of August. I am cordially inviting you and your family. Come sit in the audience. Come sit for prayer. Do what you would like. Get involved in some way. And it begins with a phone call. It begins with reaching out, calling me, texting me, and we'll do it together. See you soon. I hope you enjoy your satsang. Have fun, everybody. Sitaram. Principal Vindravan Bihari Lal ki Jai. Sitaram, everybody. Tonight, we enter into our third night, our third session of reading Gyan Yagya. We have been reading for the past two sessions, the past two nights, from Padma Puran, section 6, Uttarkhand, chapter, I think, 192 onwards. And tonight we are about to enter into our last chapter of what is called Bhagwat Mahatyam, the greatness of the Bhagwat Mahapuran. For the last two nights, we've been discussing, laid out in text, based on questions that Parvati Mata is asking Lord Shiva. Parvati Mata is asking about the efficacy of listening to these texts. Firstly, she had started with what was called Gita Mahatyam, Bhagwat Gita Mahatyam. And when she finished that, she continued into Bhagwat. The reason for this reading is to preface the, I have to say now, annual Yagya that we do in this ashram. In the Sri Krishna Seva Ashram, where we every year, every holiday, we do Yagya like this to benefit everybody. Viewing on television, after the fact on YouTube, people who come in person. But quite often, people don't know the value of it, of the Yagya. And this is why I wanted to read it. Not only for us here, but as Kali Yuga is happening, as bad things are happening to people, by the grace of God, in recent times, Bhagwat had near to disappeared in recent times. Too much work. Baba, we don't have time. Too much course. Too much things to do. And then slowly, locally and internationally, pundits and groups started to bring it back. Not only the one night Bhagwat reading, but the 7 days, 3 time for the day session type of format. The true Bhagwat. So much so that it is now coming back, it is coming into the culture of children that they're exposed to it. So I thought it fit for the benefit of Shishya, godchildren, and everybody by and large, that you could benefit from knowing the value. And I've been using my rusty hammer. Somebody messaged me and said, Pandit, did you have to use that ugly hammer to make your point? I have been illustrating my old hammer to say a tool is a nice thing. But if you know how to use your tool, it could be an effective weapon. In this example, hammer and a nail. You'll get through. But if you're not careful, the same tool could damage your hand. If you don't know how to use this tool, you might take the nail with your finger and think, okay, I could tap it better with this. Likewise, as Hindus, we are exposed to texts. We have more pundits that have more education in today's world. Books are transliterated into English and readily available, soft copy and physical copy alike. However, the general public seems to be lost more now than before. Faith, bhakti, has been the central figure in our conversation for this Yagya. And although there are various mediums, whether you look at the apps that are on your phone that children use, and not only children, but young adults, Not only, I would say for myself, the older apps, Facebook and so on, but in different ways using AI and all these different things, messages are transmitted to different segments of audience, cartoon figurines, different methods. However, although all of this different way to disseminate a point is there are more Hindu schools, there are colleges, locally, internationally, more options and variations of, in terms of the tenor or the hardship, the rigor. It could be for baby, ABC, catch a crab, or it could be a little more advanced. The general, and I'll prove it tonight, the general consensus is that I do what I do as a Hindu because this is what I know. I believe in what I know. This is my practice. This is what I was brought up in. But if you ask the Hindu why they do what they do, I'm not sure. The Pandit told me to do it. The Now told me to do it. My mother told me to do it. And I want to reflect on my rusty hammer. You have a tool. Let's call it Bhagwat. But I don't know how to use it effectively. Especially when there's trouble. When things are good, you're good. But when you have problems, family, money, sickness, etc., what to do? Tonight we enter into our last part. I'm doing chapter 198, our last chapter. Before we do so, let's enter with some prayer. Everybody join your hands together where you are. And for a little bit, concentrate your mind on Lord Krishna. As our conversation continues tonight, dear Lord, please help me to remember, help me to learn. Let's start with Ganesh Baba. Om Gajananam Bhutaganadi Sevitam Kapeta Jambu Palachara Bhakshitam Umasutam Sho Kavinashkarakam Namami Viganeshwara Padapankajam. We enter, as I said, we indicated, the Gupta Navrat is ongoing. Das Mahavidya is being celebrated. For those people that are engaged throughout the world in different parts, they worship these mothers. Let's say this prayer taken from the Chandi part, Kunjika Stotra, Siddhi Kunjika, Siddha Kunjika Stotra. I call upon you, you who are not necessarily in the Durga form. We say Durga for, I guess, children to understand, but you are the energy that allows everything to become possible. When you support me, I'll pass the exam. When you bless me, the girl will like me. When you bless me, I'll get the job. When you bless me, what the advancement I couldn't get, I can get it. So the person chants this prayer when Yagna is going to start, when different things are going to happen. You're going to begin building of the home, and you are using your Durga to get in and get over and overcome your different tests, your different situation. Hari Om Hum Hum Humkara Rupinyai Jam 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 Jambanandini Brahm Brim Brum Bhairavi Bhadra Bhavani Ye Namo Nama Om Kam Cham Tam Tam Pam Yam Sam Vim Dhum Em Vim Ham Sham Dirgram Dirgram Trotaya Trotaya Deeptam Kuru Kuru Swaha Om Pam Pim Pum Parvati Purna Cham Kim Kum Kechari Tatha Om Sam Sim Sum Sapta Shati Divya Mantra Siddhi Kurushva Me Idam Tu Kunjika Stotra Mantra Jagrati Hitave Abhyakta Naiva Dattavyam Gopitam Raksha Parvati Om Yastu Kunjikaya Devi Hinanna Saptashatim Pat Na Tasya Jaite Siddhyara Raranya Rodhanam Yataha. That person who recites the glory of the goddess, any prayer but they don't chant this Kunjika Stotra, the hymn that allows a person to get through the key. This is the key to open the door for whatever you wish to accomplish. That person is crying in the wilderness, but they will never get through with what they are applying for or what they are praying for. Now, let's pray a little bit to Mahadev Baba as our Yagna is coming to a close. Help me sing a little bit whilst devotees are joining. Namah Shivaya Om. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya Om. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Nagendra Haraya Trilochanaya. Bhasmangaragaya Maheshwaraya. Nityaya Suddhaya Digambharaya. Tasmai Nakaraya Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. See him in your mind. Concentrate a little bit. Lord Shiva, I'm calling on you tonight as we conclude our yagya. Bless me, God. Yagvaswarupaya Jatadharaya Pinakahastaya Sanatanaya Divyaya Devaya Digambharaya Tasmai Yakaraya Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya Om. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Let's chant the 12 syllable mantra now. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Everybody. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vrindavan Bihari Lala Ki Jai. Last night in our discourse, we heard about how Narad prepares to do his Bhagwat. How he is trying to help from the first night. He's trying to help Bhakti. This personification of this attitude of devotion. And Bhakti is withered because of Kali Yuga. We heard how Mahavishnu in previous time, as Narad is listening, how Lord Vishnu gave her an assistant, my word, assistant, mukti, salvation. And he gave to Bhakti two sons, Vairagya, renunciation, and knowledge, Gyan. But in Kali Yuga, Narad sees this whole thing is starting when Narad sees Bhakti as a young girl and two old men, that's her sons. And he wants to know, why is the old boy, you're calling him your son? He's dry, he's feeble. It looks as if now he will die. And Narad learns that Kali Yuga is such a pestilence that it is drying up, it is absorbing, it is taking the knowledge away from the devotee. So they are a stranger to bhakti. The idea of vairagya or letting go of something is totally ridiculous. It is madness to lead someone that you have to learn to let go in this day and age. So the person hankers and holds on to everything. And I'll touch on it tonight. So bad is Kali Yuga that Mukti has to run from the earth and she remains with Lord Vishnu. And it is only when somebody begs Bhakti to call salvation, Mukti comes to the earth for that individual. So as time is passing, to summarize what we've talked about, getting Mukti was very easy in Satyug, Treta, Dwapar. But in Kali Yuga, it literally feels as if Mukti is out of reach. It is at a great distance. In this illustration of a person going very far from a person, to discuss, to talk, to achieve, to hold. Narad is guided about the value of Bhagwat. And he had now created the forum. He asked his brothers, the first set of children that Brahma had created, the four brothers, the Kumars, they call them in text, Sanat Kumar, Sanatan, Sanak, etc. And these little babies, they look like 5 years old, but they are very old, older than Narad. And they sit down and they are given discourse. Mahavishnu is, so all the devatas are coming to this Yagyashala. So what a Bhagwat looks like is described. In it, Mahavishnu manifests himself. And in the Katha now, to understand Mahatyam, the greatness of it, the Kumar maintain now, Narad understand how effective this tool of Bhagwat is, because Narad asked the question, if this Bhagwat Yagya, Saptaha Bhagwat Yagya, properly meaning 7 days Yagya, this is the proper way in Kali Yuga to cleanse the worst sinner. And based on all that they had fed him, taught him, teached him up to that moment, he says, please tell me, brothers, Vyasji, tell me tonight, who is so sinful that they cannot get help from Bhagwat? The brothers looked at each other and they came back with, for the elders looking on, the story that illustrates the power and the effectiveness of Bhagwat in the history of an old discourse of Dunduli and Atmadev and their two boys, Dundukari and Gaukaran. We did the entire discourse, where Gaukaran at the end becomes the Vyas. We see after listening, the sinful guy, long story short, sits in a bamboo that is installed in the Yagyashala when they're using Bhagwat to help Dundukari. And Dundukari, day by day, he's moving upward. Till by the end of the 7th reading, the 7 days reading, he's transformed into the likeness of Mahavishnu. So when he goes to heaven, and then subsequently, Gaukaran and all the other people listening, when they did it the right way. And there's where I want to start tonight. Just to recap, they did an entire Saptaha Bhagwat. And everybody who came into the Yag, well, they know Gaukaran, based on last night's discourse, is reading this Yag because we have a Jambi sitting inside at that bamboo, horrific. The description is scary. I know myself, if I see that, I will run the opposite way. He is sitting, that entity is sitting inside at that bamboo, and they are trying to help that guy. So imagine if it were me and you, normal people, we are really praying, but we want to watch to see what's going to happen to that guy. Is this prayer going to work? I know they're trying something. I don't know how effective it could be. And with that mindset, the people did sit and witness reading after reading, reading after reading with full focus. And every day, the Yag that was finished, a joint burst. So you heard a loud pop. And this prayed gut, this house of this Jambi, Roman spirit, prayed, is moving up as per our discourse. And then on this last session now, the bamboo split open and a divine form, the same Jambi, turned into the likeness of Lord Vishnu. And they saw the Vahan, the Akash, the Vahan from Mahavishnu come, take who is Dundukari to heaven, Vaikunth, never to come back. So the question then became, well, how come Dundukari get all the blessing and we sit down in the same Yagyashala, Gaukaran, and we did not get to go into heaven? You and me go to Yagya quite often. We witness prayer. We watch puja. But it is a common thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. Send me a note tonight. You're watching me, write something there. Send me a message tonight. You ever see some people do prayers and get through, and some people do prayers and they're still waiting for a iota of help or health or change or some goodness? Be honest tonight. This is why we meet. This is why we come to talk. I'm doing this yag this way so that me and you will get to sit down and talk a little bit. This is not for everybody. This is between me and you. I have come to talk very personal, one-on-one, and I have a little tidbit of information to give you tonight. I would like to, as I said before, I want to preface the yag that we're doing in the ashram. I will be live. We will, we talk about it. It's coming in August. But I don't want you to be like the people in the Gaukaran story. The yag went on. And in order for those people who didn't get like Dundukari, Gaukaran had to read our next yag. And now, in the second edition of Bhagwat, now the people after Gaukaran said, well, listen, you didn't prepare yourself. You didn't fast. Your focus wasn't there. You didn't put your mind on God, you put your mind on Dundukari. Your mind was not on the God or trying to listen or paying attention. No, your mind was watching what was happening to the other person who come to pray. So Gaukaran says, mind your business. Focus on your prayers and you will get it. They did it. And as per discourse last night, they went subsequent. Gaukaran transformed into Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu comes himself to hold him. And when he touched him, as if he is now infected with the power of Lord Vishnu, transforms from Gaukaran with the big ears, change four-handed for Mahavishnu. Narad Muni, do it. Do it correct. Do it correct. And this tool called Bhagwat is very effective. Let's enter tonight as we continue on that platform, on that plateau where we were last night. Read and listen to Bhagwat, the last slok here. Listen to that Bhagwat, O Gaukaran, and O Narada, and anybody just like Gaukaran, who is blessed, but also like Dundukari. They could get uplifted. There's no limit to what Bhagwat could do. Let's do our first slok. Shiva Om, Shakti Om, Hari Om, Narayanaya Krishnaya, Paramatmaya Namo Namah, Narayanaya Krishnaya, Paramatmaya Namo Namah, Narayanaya Krishnaya, Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Naham Tvam Kit Tvam Dharma Yagyaye Sitaye Dhamatam Adya Gyato Yasi Tatapaksh Ye Mas Ye Titi Paryaha Narayanaya Krishnaya Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namo Namah Narayanaya Krishnaya Ho Paramatmaya Namo Namah Paramatmaya Namo Namah Paramatmaya Namo Namah Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. As we get into this section, please remember, share the satsang tonight. Send me a comment. Tell me where you're from, where you're listening. Did you ever sit for Bhagwat? Have you ever had this experience? And if there's any muddy point in your knowledge, please send me a message so that I can address it. Mommy Baba is watching the laptop, so she's there. And she could feed me any question live so we could talk about it one time. Now, Narad, Kumaras are talking. As we move forward. Now, I'm going to tell you how to listen, how to do this Bhagwat. Let me teach you now what the people who are listening, the villagers, the people who are listening to Gaukaran based on last night's discourse, people say, me and you, we know this. Go to the prayer. But people don't tell you how or what is the mode. How am I supposed to conduct? Is there a thing I'm supposed to do? What is to be done? Many people, check yourself. Many people don't even know when they reach to the mandir, the bell outside the door, ring the bell. And when you come in and you see the murti, you see the pitya, bow, pranam. Many people don't know that. So tonight, I'm going to touch on a couple. In this part, they want to teach him how to listen. This is why he started, Slok 1, how to listen to Bhagwat when the Saptaha is upon a person. When a person has achieved due to merit the opportunity to take in Bhagwat, especially for the 7-day method, those people, men, women, they are given a golden opportunity. But in order to give the people the best option, it must be planned properly. The devoted host that wishes to engage in doing Bhagwat has to check Patra, the astrologer, consult with the moon, and make sure that it is placed in auspicious time. Make sure that in a humble manner, the commencement of Bhagwat should be done in auspicious months. So, the month of that is given Shravan, Bhadrapada, Ashwin, Kartik, Margashira, Jesht, Ashad. Ashwin is half, latter part September, early part October. Kartik, latter part October, early part November. Margashira, latter part November, early part December. Jesht is latter part May, early part June. Ashad, latter part June, early part July. Shravan, latter part July, early part August. Bhadrapada, latter part August, early part September. In my instance, I tend to use Shravan because of the Lord Shiva Vrat as well as the school holiday time. So for convenience with the children and also the auspiciousness. So for me this year, I'm using the month of Shravan. I will have Bhagwat from the 3rd to the 10th of August. Continuing. There are certain tithi that have certain value. So the person might try to catch in the yag, the Panchmi, the 5th, the Dasmi, or the new moon, depending on the purpose. If I'm doing it on behalf of general public, all is fine. If maybe I'm doing it on behalf of a deceased member of the family, I will emphasize on the new moon, for example. Another part that is not listed here is the person who is setting the date. You as the host has to make sure whenever you are putting date for Yag, you want to make sure Agni Vyas is a term to describe where the Agni, the force of the fire, is. Agni becomes your mail service. The mail meaning your postman. Let me say postman. And on the earth, I am sending Hawan offerings to God. I am sending Hawan offerings to the Pitras, or to those that are burning in Narak, especially if we have people who are, the souls are still burning for sins, past sins, people who commit suicide, examples, right? So Agni is given, just to explain this to people, he could be in the heavenly region at a certain point. He'll be on the earth in sometimes, and he could be in Patal Lok in sometimes. So the person wants that at some point, sometimes it is there at the beginning, but you want to catch it in the end, so that all the Hawan offerings that were offered on the earth, if he's going to heaven, I want him to carry it for me. So this is what makes, in simple language, there are terms, don't get me wrong, Babas, don't eat off my head, but in simple layman terms, we want the postman to be there, to come to your yag, take up everything in the Hawan that was offered, and let it go where it have to go. I'm offering some stuff on behalf of Pitras. Please deliver it. I'm offering some stuff to Lord Vishnu Brahma. Please deliver it. When this is done in the correct time, because you don't want him to be in Patal and you're offering here on earth and he doesn't come, or you don't want him to be in a different place, long story short, and he's not there to pick up your offerings. So the yag closed and then he come to earth. So then it means that I finished my prayer, and the auspiciousness of Agni being present, it was totally absent. So it feels as if my prayers, the energy, the vibration is lacking. That is a major part in choosing. In Bhagwat, you try not to start on Tuesdays and Saturdays. There are certain nakshatras such as Dhruv that we try to stay away from. Not too good for this type of prayer, as listed here. Because of something that happened with Sutji when he was talking, the Dwadasi Tithi is something that we don't use. In India, some people respect the law, some people don't, truthfully. In West Indian practice, this is something we don't hold to be quite honest. We just don't practice it. For the reading of Bhagwat, there is no limit. In a previous chapter, there is something called Purushottam Mass that happens after, rounding it off, every 3 and something years. That 3 and something years, that is the time when the month is named after Purushottam or Krishna. It is an opportunity to read Bhagwat in that time. Some people think it is good to read Bhagwat. I invite those learned people to research what is the value of Purushottam Mass, not to be confused with the title called Mal Mass, but to understand what Purushottam Mass is. And upon your research and you understand the value of doing Shraddha and different goodly things Christian-wise, what Bhagwat gives to people. When it says there is no prohibition, it also means there is no limit based on gender. There is nothing that women can't do, men can't do. Once you prepare yourself properly in terms of asouch and souch, cleanliness, not cleanly, not clean, spiritually wise, fasting wise, body wise, control of your bodily fluid, etc. So sometimes people interpret that statement to only refer, with all respect, to the menstrual cycle. But it is not only limited to that, but remember, you don't want to be leaking mucus and want to do this type of prayer. So the person has to be in a way controlled. You look at your stomach, diarrhea-wise, you look at your stomach, ladies, bleeding-wise, but also for men, don't go and cut up the mango and cut your finger, and then you have to go and do prayer. These things debar a person from sitting for yag. So the person who is sitting as and you just hear it, the main shrota, that person, they are on a strict diet for maintenance, not only for fasting purpose, but also maintenance of the bacteria balance in the stomach. You don't want to eat something that causes a flushing effect, and then you have a different problem. You have to go back to pray. In this way, the person practice stability, and if the wise person applies themselves properly, they could sit, do prayer, have prayer in this way. Moving on to slok 8. Invitation is to be extended to devotees of all walks of life. Everybody. Sometimes people put on invitation, Brahmin, all Brahmin are invited. Boy, if you're doing Bhagwat and you only inviting Brahmin, what about the Kshatri? What about the Vaish? Let me be honest, I'm talking like a normal person. Normal people or that belong to other castes have value in the house of the Lord. You want everybody to come and benefit from this yag. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody has a rule. And when you start to pick and choose special invite for all the sadhu and all the yes, if they come and they could say something good, that is good. But when children come, children do add value to your prayers. When women come, when tanties come and they could accept your charity, bless your house, they don't add value to your yag. Consider what I am proposing. If God live inside of everybody, doesn't everybody deserve sitaram? If you practice that, how could you show bias in your invitation? Instead, invite for your yag how you invite for your wedding. You call Ganesh, you put him in that yellow rice, and you go and you share neuta, you share invitation for everybody equally. Please come, we having yag, we having prayers, come, make sure and come. You have to come. Everybody is important because every person that walked through that door could be part, parcel, and your God. Nobody is more God or less God. You could have a role for a singer. You could have a role and a purpose for a drummer. It does not mean you put more emphasis on one and disregard the other. But you lift the host and the hostess, their family becomes the servant, serving the guests. Isn't that what we believe in when we say Atiti Dev Bhava? The gathering for these times when these books were written, people would camp out. As I hinted last night, members of the ashram have the habit of staying by Guru, and ashram by definition is the Guru's home. That is what an ashram is. In the Guru's home, you have training, teaching, worshipping, and the example that is set. What is an ashram, Baba? Ashram is where the Pandit lives. So you live emulating how to eat, how to cook, how to worship, how to play music, how to study, how to talk, how to interact. You are literally absorbing goodly things. So part of it is just like how Sri Ram goes to live with his guru. You go and you spend some time absorbing from this God parent. So people have the habit, a home here in our ashram, of spending the night in the main floor, in the classrooms, the girls stay, have separate toilet, etc. With all respect for that. So the person now, they want to spend the night, and in our local tradition, when people had yag, do you remember a time when people used to sleep in the mandap around the bedi? When I was younger in Hindustan mandir, I grew up knowing, I didn't read all these things yet, but you grew up going to spend the night. It had jag in the temple, you're going to sleep in the temple. For those of you that had the experience, send me a message if you did it. People go and they spend the night, they want to sleep, they make arrangements, they leave home, and they come and they create different bedding, settee, whatever, sleeping bag, tent, whatever you have. And they want now to sleep there. The reason why this is done, just to touch on it, people say, well, what are you sleeping on the ground for? Well, think about the person who is accustomed eating their favorite KFC. I've been straight for everybody to understand. I accustomed, that is my love. And now, oh God, Mommy Baba telling me I had to fast. Oh God. And Franco meant, easy, what I cannot get to eat or drink in the day, In the depth of sleep, I will go in the temple in KFC and collect parasad and see myself eating it. So the person is playing a smart game. Whenever you hear in Hinduism, they're telling you to sleep on the ground. The reason is sleep. Get some rest, but not deep sleep. In today's world, we call it rapid eye movement, REM sleep, where you are going to dream. So in the dream now, that is where you break your fast. I want you to understand this because this will happen when you have a death and you hear about the 10 days and husband is sleeping on the floor. When husband is accustomed sleeping next to wife, if I don't say it, nobody will tell you this. I telling you. When you're accustomed sleeping next to wife and you have to fast for that type of ritual, you have to fast for your yagya, you want to do your yag the correct way, don't dream about touching the opposite sex or your spouse. Same sex, opposite sex, you know what I mean. Don't dream carnal or lusty thoughts. Don't break your fast. Sleep, get on the ground, sleep, and stay in that method. The other reason people used to sleep in the Yagyashala a long time, because it was a shed in the village, thief. You have food stuff, you have different things when people put gold on murtis, and other people would come to steal, so we don't want to do that. But the preparation and holding the sattwicness, to use a term, sattwicness of the Yajman, this is why we sleep on the ground. People come and they decorate the pavilion or the Yagyashala. If somebody asks you, I see long time they used to decorate, yes, the paper, and now we have cloth and we have everything. I see they don't use blue. I don't know if you notice. I'm throwing out things at you. You tell me what you know. I believe it is Shiv Puran. I'm subject to correction. Lord Shiva says, blue is not to be used when you are sitting for prayer or engaging in charitable puja, when you're giving stuff to the murti. Blue is a color that is reserved for illusionary items. So in the text, he refers to the blue sea and the blue sky. You go and you hold the sky, there's no blue. You hold the water, there's no blue. So he says, because of that illusion, it is not fitting to wear blue or decorate with blue when these moments happen. So you will notice that the Hindu fixates on reds, yellows, orange, and colors in between. The color is used to emulate the energy, like when you have, for those people that put the coconut in the fire, when you see red and yellow, it is just indicative that the life inside the coconut, we want to show the ball of energy, the tej, the fire, the force. Dear mother, we give you this, swaha. When in decoration now, we are calling the sunlight to charge the color, the rays, the wavelength, charge this place with power. Yagya is going to happen, and let mother send her rays to allow this place to have the Shakti. Good. I understand that. So this is why you wouldn't see blue decoration, for the person that asked me that question this morning. But I also saw the mango leaf, the 5-head stem. I see it sometimes in the Kalsa. And that's a different discourse, but the reason behind it, that is Lakshmi Mata. And you are asking mother to protect. Usually if there's to do the whole Yagyashala, nowadays there is do around the mandap area, mother maintain the barakat, the luster, the tej, the energy, the good luck, whichever word you understand, of the prayer, the puja. Allow the ghee enough. Allow everything to run sufficient. Don't let things spill or accidents happen. Bring good luck. Allow us to finish the prayer and do what we come to do. So the person dresses the place, and this is why we put those things. If you are doing yag and you are advised by a decorator to do things that look nice, good, but it has no spiritual value, I want you to answer this for me. Are you doing the best for yourself, or to show the neighbor how nice your place looks? And there you will come in Gita and you'll hear about Rajasic prayer, Tamasic prayer, Sattvic prayer. You tell me which one. If I'm decorating and I'm only taking away from the spirituality and I'm only doing it to show people, look how wonderful this shed, this tent, whatever is decorated. That one easy to figure out. The pavilion should have, where the yag is going to be read, fig trees. In Skand Puran, Mahavishnu used the Hindu, somebody asks, I hear you just put fig tree in your prayers. fig tree before man could make the plastic murtis that you and I just run down. The fig tree is the tree, the murti of Mahavishnu. So in Western, like in Trinidad, our culture is eat on the sohari leaf. In Guyana, they eat on the Puran, the lotus flowers. These things are not practiced in South India. In South India, they eat on the banana leaf, the true fig leaf, because it is Vishnu Baba, and I'm serving on his leaf. The fig tree, you look at your Satyanarayana Pitya, you'll see the fig tree. Put him there. So people decorate. There is what we call in Trinidad the Hanuman fig. In other parts of the world, the ornamental fig. That's where the flowers is this small, the fig is this, and it shoots upward. They use that. And if you see they put it on the corners of the place, it is as if I'm asking Mahavishnu, stand up there. Did you know that? Are you decorating with the correct things in your yag or your prayer? Do you make the sacrifice to put a fig tree in your bedi? I don't know where did this put that for, but I just put it. I'll go liberty and I'll go buy a fig tree and rest it so plumb. I'll never bow to it. I'll never worship it. I'll never put a ticker of flowers, nothing on it. It is as if it is a non-entity because I do not know the value of it. But I have in praise. Jai Bhagwan. Then make a raised seat for the person to speak, the reader. Now, it have a little tickle with this seat. I have heard Singh Asan. You ever hear that name? Singh Asan. But then is Vyas reading the book. So sometimes if I talking, I'm using myself, you will hear me say Vyas Asan. Asan mean his chair, his seat, different color, size. I'm a big boy, so they had to make a big one for me. Different, description, but usually the seat for the person reading the book. So when they say Singh Asan is the throne for the king. Singh referencing, you would hear Singh in different places. Singh Rasi, the lion. Singh really means lion. So for the king, they put him on the lion's throne. So how we end up calling it lion's throne? What is that about? I don't know, but I just go and bow by the Singh Asan. I just bow by the Singh. And you just say it, be honest with yourself. I see the Pandit, look, he done reach up and he Singh Asan. Tonight we got to deal with it, don't worry. The listeners must be in a place, imagine these times before the PA and the mic system, close to hear the reader. The reader should face north in a Bhagwat. The person, the audience, usually you put them to face east, really for the reason we face east in prayers. I don't know if you know that. Do you know why you face east? The sun rises in the east, and on the horizon you're trying to get the radiation, the rays of the sun to hit your body and answer your prayer, energize your aura, lift you up. So the audience sitting eastward, just as the Shrota for the prayer is facing. Puja is facing. The speaker must be versed in the meaning, the nature of the text. He should be a person. The individual should be a person that is devoted to Mahavishnu. The person should be able to illustrate and with patience answer questions. The person should not be greedy. The person should be able to be practicing equilibrium in such a way that they could take the dynamics of the text and make it into rubric form so that the typical person, the saint and the sinner alike, adult, child, could benefit from the content of the yag. In this way, effort is given to emphasize the necessary points. Then the other aspects is now getting closer. The place decorate, dress. It is now time to do Shrad. Many people limit their prayer, for those of you that know about Yag. Before the Yag, we do Shrad. People say Gita part. Gita part is Christian prayers where you're giving the Gita book. But there is Shrad that is done with specific offerings for the ancestors that we wish before we have wedding, you do it. Before Yagya, we do it. We want to help them. But how you go do Shrad, Babs? Nobody are dead. I know Shrad is associated with death and the place come unclean. There's a type of Shrad called Nandi Mukh Shrad. In Nandi Mukshad, the same, I'm just saying, those that have passed away, Aja, Aji, Nana, Nani, etc., Pinda, different, made up with different ingredients, is offered with a different kind of prayer. Here comes a shroud, long story short, that is, the place is not unclean. It is, nobody has died. We are doing Shraddh, we have Yag, we want it to go good. So if it have spirit like Dundukari, if it have anything that will hamper, cause conflict in the Yag, cause trouble in the kitchen, cause people to die in the Yag, anything to throw off the Yag, or the wedding, or the great occurrence, the Hindu does this Shraddh to alleviate or prevent those problems. Principle of Indravan Bihari Lalaki, Jai Sitaram, everybody. So I interrupting your Yagya briefly just to remind everybody. This year's Yagya, Bhagwat Yagya, at the Ashram, Sri Krishna Seva Ashram, is going to happen on the 3rd of August to the 10th of August. This is the 7 days, 3 times for the day, normal Yagya. And on the Sunday, we're going to do Visarjan. Every single person is invited. If you would like to take part, to get involved, to help cook, to help make prasad, to help sit for prayer, if you would like to bring flowers, cut up mango wood for people who have cow, to bring gobar for we to burn in the fire, I need your help and I invite you to get involved. Of course, I expect you to be fasting and prepare yourself properly. For all those people who would like to sit, especially my elders, use the opportunity. Come with us. Join with us. Call me. You have my number on the screen as we get back to the Yagna. Call me, message me, WhatsApp me so that you could get involved. Everybody, again, on behalf of the team and myself and Mummy Baba, we are opening the door. We are calling you. We are inviting you in the name of Lord Krishna to come and take part in your Bhagwat. Looking out to hearing from you. Everybody give me a call or message me. Sitaram. Then, in doing it, you have, from my experience, you want to bring the energy to the Yag. You do where you see it when people are doing the sanskar for Janev, you see it when people are doing wedding sanskar. You go and you bring Mother Earth. Mati Kurna, it means you bring the mud. And you bring the mud and you place her into you worship. So you go, the ladies worship the mud. It could be, tradition says riverbank, truthfully, mud, and you'll do a little procession. They encourage children. I do it. I keep it up. And they come and they bring Mother Earth. Look, we're going to have Yag. Ma, bring the energy, the power we need to get through this Yag. And Ma comes before the Yag starts. Then you do what we call Dwar or Ganesh Puja, where you invite Ganesh Baba, stand firm on this entrance to this property. When this Bhagwat is going to be read, all forms of zombie, boot, people with sickness, people with heaviness, all type of people with different ailments are coming to your place, and that heavy energy is coming there, and this Yag has to stand up and fight. The energy has to be ferocious. This place has to be protected. Ganesh Baba, stand by that doorway and make sure that whosoever is coming here, come here with good intention. Transform them, fix them, get them ready, remove the obstacles and the hindrances, and allow this Yag that is about to begin, allow it to be successful. Ganesh Baba is placed by the doorway. So when you go to Yag and you see the little Ganesh, sometimes you see outside by the door with the diya lighting, think why he is placed there. And some children will say, well, I thought that it decorating. Correct me if I'm wrong. Check yourself and see if you didn't think. It didn't have a purpose for that. That was just the decorator put something and it looked cute and it had a deer, so we put him there. No, that is the security guard. And when the person bow by the light, dear Ganesh, bless me God. If a stupid, I say it, you're stupid, a sinful, I commit all kind of headache and worries and different things to distract me, while I sitting in that Yagyashala, transform me and make me like Dundukari. Help me to lift, help me to reach where I want to reach. Then on the altar, let the Purohit and the other Pandits come and worship Shiva, Lingam, Shaligram, Vishnu, the Baba. When you see the Arati the Baba, why did his Arati the Baba? Vishnu Baba is Shaligram, the Lingam is Shiv Baba, the Pandit becomes Brahma. And after they do the worship, watch when you go next time, you're going to see the worship Vyas, the book, they will come down and worship the Baba who do the prayer. That is where you touch and you get, he is Brahma, he has all the mantra in his head. And because of his pronouncements, your prayers is ongoing. So you worship him. Then the listener worships the book. Having gone around means you could walk around the physical book. If you can walk around the Singhasan, good, do it. If not, you will see the person maybe arati and they circumambulate 3 times. They put prasad. They do different things to go around 3 times. By going around 3 times, the sins of a janam, of a birth, is burnt away. So when somebody does arti, why we don't go up, so we're going triangle? It says that when you circumambulate the murti or the book in this example, for 3 times, you get the burning away of previous birth sin. This is why we do it. Mahavishnu, as we said in previous night discourse, is represented by that book. And different mantras are used, that I am your servant Krishna, and today I have come like this, and they are putting their flowers, they put in their prasad, they put their dakshina on the book to represent as if they are giving gifts to the murti of Krishna, that because of the content of this book, I, this sinner, this sickly person, this person who have different ailments, I am going to get healing like Dundukari, and I am going to go to a higher realm. I am going to see betterment in my life and after life leaves the body. Vindra Vande Harilala Ki Jai. Invite Pandits to come and let them sit. Last year we did it. This year we will continue. Different Babas came on the last session, on the morning, when we are closing, and we are doing the Gita part and the closing ceremony. And they sat together with people touching hands and saying the 12-syllable mantra, Gayatri mantra, for different benefit. Let them use Om Namo Bhagwate Vasudevaya. If people made mistakes in the Yag, let them chant Gayatri when the Yag is going to close, so that they will burn away sins from previous birth, sins and mistakes they made in the Yag. If the mind grumble, God, I could eat food. For that type of mistake, say the Gayatri and get forgiveness. Let people who can sing, musicians, come. And those people that sing and play the music, in order for them to get their blessings too, do not use people. For all my pundits out there, musicians are not to be used. My advice, they come with you and they go and they sing and they play and they uplift the presence, the ambience of where you are reading or where you are helping John public ascend and reach to God. But there must come a point where you say, listen, put down the organ, put down the drum, stop singing, get up, and you go and bow by that book. This God is not only for others. The rules apply to us as well, the Pandit too. We have to get up and lead by example and rest our head by those books too, the Murti too. If you ever see, I could speak for myself, if you ever see me and Mommy Baba on Tirat and we go in, brother, we rest our heads, we show, whoever with we hold in your hand and we offer in bail and flowers and tulsi and money and everything. Because we need blessings too, because brother, when trouble come, he come in for me too, trust me. Let the singers get up. And let them, after singing and listening, let them offer themselves and their, whatever they have, let them offer it to give them a chance. In this way, when people have the anxiety and the worries and the worries and the worries, forget about the spouse, forget about money, forget about children, forget about house for this little while, and just for a little while, focus on your prayer. Do it in the morning when the sunrise is coming. For the first reading, let at least a sentence, a chapter, more that could be done, better. Let it be read and explained thoroughly. Narad, then there's going to be Gatika. Gatika is a period of 24 minutes, a minimum of 24 minutes of rest. But before the next session starts, 24 minutes or 1/60 1/60 of the 24 hours in the day. That is what a gatika is. The gatika is sometimes too short. So in practical, you give a break, they catch the breath, if who have to use washroom, who have to change clothing, and then they start puja again in preparation for the next session. So time is varied. I tend to vary time when I'm doing it to give time for everything, and then we get a little longer break so that you have time for people who, sometimes when people come for Bhagwat, they stay morning session, lunchtime session. And people who are coming home from work, you leave time, you leave space for that evening session to catch the person who may be at work. So come to the Yag. Give people time to make a journey home and come back, change clothes, etc. Freshen their body. The person who is listening to Bhagwat should not be a person who is against bathing, refreshing the body, cleansing their mouth. When your body becomes stale and you have to do certain prayers, you have to refresh. Checking the washroom, rinsing the mouth, having a shower is not a bad thing. We mention it and I'm emphasizing it because there are people who are totally against looking clean. So I could go again. I'm not talking about wearing red, all of us must be in red and all of us must be in yellow. I'm not talking about craziness like that. I'm talking about hygiene. Your body, the crevices, the nooks and crannies, with all respect, starts to smell, you and I. And we are not going to present ourselves in that scenario to God. Left to me tonight sitting reading this Yag, if I could put on a merino and sit here reading with you, trust me, I would do it. But Mommy Baba would take up that dantal and crack me one blow in my head. But the clothes, I'm not saying you have to be rich only. I want to make that clear. Be clean. Clean. The person should then, after the day of reading, the body should be sustained with water, fruits, milk, ghee, vegetarian food, sattvic food. Abstention, as I'm going into a lower verse here, I'll deal with what the abstention is. And I want to ask you a question. The person who has to sit for the prayer, Slok 30, the person should be initiated. Many people don't catch that. They should have a guru. They should be guided by their guru mantra. Where does the guru mantra come from? How does the Pandit, what's the big secret to give you that powerful mantra? The guru mantra comes from your Ish Devta, which is pegged against when they go and they check the 100 years Patra. The day you were born, this was the star, that was the Rasi house, that is the Devta. In my example, my Ish Devta is Lord Shiva. Based on the planet I born under, my color, my appropriate color is yellow. So if I have to buy a car, where's the color to buy? Yellow car. Well, for example, just example, but the appropriate color. With that now, Guruji, it is the day for your initiation or Guru Diksha. He says, okay, the guardian angel or your Ish Devta is Lord Shiva. So the secret mantra, I just use an example here, Lord Shiva mantra, Om Namah Shivaya. So that from the Ish Devta, the mantra comes as a protective amulet internally, manas prayer, that the person chants to raise the aura, raise the vibration, pushing away bad, securing themselves. Now they could protect themselves from things like najar, bad people and their bad influence. When a person is in this way initiated with mantra, familiar with the tenets. So when I christen somebody, I say christen, but you know what I mean, Guru Diksha, when I give Diksha to somebody and they become Shishya, on the day of the prayer, I teach you how to hold the Jap Mala and you thread it on the middle finger, for example, how to do it, when to do it, etc. The person is now able to utilize the energy from, in my example, Lord Shiva, using the mantra, using the Jap Mala properly, prepared now. They are now protected. Let them sit for the prayer. If they prepare themselves properly, let them practice celibacy while the yagya is going on. Let them sleep on the bare floor. Let them eat on the banana leaf every day. Why we do that? In case you don't eat on a leaf. The idea of the leaf, it is disposable. Nobody eats fresh and then come to the aha prayers and we want to go vegetarian. When I was young and I started to do prayer in a home where you have meat and so on, people, older people, would feed the Baba in the Tarian lota. They would put aside. So this is, as they say, vegetarian, whereas meat never went in it. Baba, you could eat in this. And a reason for eating in leaf, if somebody says, why do we eat on a leaf? The reason you eat on a leaf, and this is why it's substituted with, in today's world, different, paper leaf or Stereotex plate or whatever. The idea is it is not used for any other use, meat-wise or anything else, and the person who is fasting is not going to eat in any way things that are tainted by those types of ingredients. So in these times, they said, eat on a leaf. The person observing the vows should abstain from different type of food. Just to give you 2 examples and not to delve too deep in it, onion and garlic. When you are listening to Devi Bhagwat in those prayers, and I want to know if you know this, don't eat pumpkin baigan. In Devi Bhagwat, they talk about baigan in particular. In this one, Bhagwat, if you're listening to Bhagwat, don't eat pumpkin. Because of the effects. Let me use the example of the onion. What's the problem with the onion, Babs? The onion, as a man, I am saying, in younger days, going to doctor for sperm count problems, I could say it. Don't vex, I'm saying it. Children have to learn. When you want zinc, which helps build testosterone in the man and helps the sperm count to go up, eat plenty onion. Watch all them Indian show and all them cooking station, them putting onion in the doubles, in the batura, everything is raw onion. That is why they could have so much children. The onion just give you the testosterone and it makes the person, fast, interested in the opposite, in the partner, in the spouse. They want to engage in lusty acts. So now the person is in this prayerful mode. Take out that extra zinc. Don't let that testosterone shoot up to get like a jumbie in the person's mind. Let them become very tranquil, calm. In it, let me be clear, because it confused people when people hear I'm taking garlic for my cholesterol. But that is a healthy thing, Babs. But it also has a play in your blood pressure. And men's body rely on blood pressure. So you are trying to curtail the sexual energy for this time where I'm doing prayer so that I can focus on the prayer. And this is why in the Hare Krishna movement, ISKCON, they take it out. It is listed in Gita. So now if me and you are doing the better prayer, consider the fasting requisite of what we are supposed to eat, what we are supposed to share, and it's going to come up. So if, and this is my question, I hold in here, and nearly, don't worry, we're going to finish just now. If somebody say, I understand the foreign protein, I understand why we don't eat meat. The meat is protein from something else. It's not clean. Something had to die. The blood. I understand why I'm fasting from meat. I understand why you just talk about onion and garlic. I understand that in different discourse, in different books I've read, where baigan has a problem with the pulse again, with the heart rate, hormonally wise. So people don't eat certain things that we commonly eat when they have prayers. So even Mommy Baba, let me use she and talk she business a little bit. I love tomatoes. If every time I do in prayers, I don't know what this catch me, I just have to go and I just want to cook tomatoes. In the ashram here, you come, if in all the years we build here, I think I share chana and aloo roti and thing once. We don't cook the traditional food. This is one of the reasons why. And I like to cook things with tomatoes. I just have that. But this lady have a form of arthritis. So if she have to fast, part of fasting is to abstain, although the tomatoes is good. it could have bad effects. So imagine Auntie Priya have to sit for prayer, and she's sitting with me, so we moving left and right in the puja, put this, put that. But oh God, the finger swell, the different bone, the shin bone swell. How are you going to focus in that example? You are trying to do prayer and focus. So now we have to abstain. I'm using onion, and now because of her arthritis type of tendency and weakness in her body, and since I'm married, I see I have the same problem too. So now was she eating? I eating. So if she eating tomatoes, well, your baba get catch no tomatoes. In this way, the person is supposed to abstain from sexual practices, different type of addiction. So oh God, you know how some ladies like to say, the Baba say you can't smoke the cigarette. There's some truth to that. Control because of the addiction side of it. I have to have the cigarette. I must have the Monster, the caffeine drink, the coffee. If I just get a Starbucks, I'll be okay. The addiction is the problem. You're trying to bring your body under control. So when you're having yag like this, you start to wean yourself, control yourself. Don't be hypocritical. Don't practice jealousy when you're trying to prepare or having the prayer. Control yourself. Don't be full of hatred. Don't be only studying the enemy and the different people that bad talk you or hurt you or harm you. Give that a break just for the duration of your prayer. That person who is observing the vow of reading or listening to the Bhagwat, because the Baba does have to follow it too. When Bhagwat is being given, the Pandit is cutting hair, or they cover their hair. In different countries, they practice differently. In preparation, there is a prayer that is chanted, when you tie the Raksha or Raksha Sutra Kalava on their hand, that dear God protect me, I'm doing yag. They're supposed to engage the Pandit, the Vyas, by tying that prayer to ensure you start this yag, you cannot abandon my yag, you cannot break from this yag. I don't know who comes when you hear these rules, especially with people Yag and Bhagwat, and I'm saying it so that you are in the light, so that when you are expending your money and you are putting all this effort, when you understand you are selecting someone to sit on that on that singasana, saying singasana, you will hear me. How in God and all his angels' name could you leave a Yagyashala to go and do funeral and then jump 1, 2, 3 back on the yag, on the singhasan, and we're going? If that's a question, if you don't like it, that would not be tolerated. Baba, you can't do that. Baba, we setting the date for the yag. Now I'm teaching you, so learn. Baba, we setting the yag. Make sure when you are reading Bhagwat, you cannot engage in certain type of prayers. So, Pandit, make sure no funeral. If you don't have that discipline, then you are not the person to read Bhagwat. If when everybody call on that phone, I use it myself, don't have the stamina or the fortitude to say, listen, I love you. You are my godchild. You are my relative. I love you. First, but I really can't do the funeral. I am engaged in somebody's Bhagwat. This is where you, the Hindu who understands what is to be done and what is not to be done, you say, okay. Sometimes people want their Pandit or their favorite Pandit, but there are limitations to what a Pandit could do. There are times when my mother died and I had to shave my hair. I, the Pandit who have to fear God and know that I will face God one day, know that there's a time that I become unclean when I lit the pyre for my mother. that I cannot go the next day because I am unclean. I cannot do puja for myself. I go in the next day to do puja for you. Think what I am saying. People make up all types of rules. Go in your Gita, you will hear what is tamasic. When people do prayers to their liking or their convenience or their comfort, that is tamasic. When you erode the scriptural injunctions that guide a person, that is tamasic prayer. It might be convenient. Keshava want the Siddha. Oh boy, let me come and do the prayer. Who dead, dead. But when you do the prayer and you misuse the tool and you damage your finger, who to blame? I am teaching you tonight. Have a standard. Know what is to be done, what is not to be done. When you select a vyas, the person has to have a certain fortitude and live by a certain lifestyle when engaging in that yag. Be honest. A lot of money goes into small prayers, big prayers. You know it have plenty work. Why waste your effort? Why waste your time? In this way, the person that has done this, let them practice. I am reading, this is, where is 42, slok 42. Let the reader and listener of the Bhagwat practice truthfulness, purity, external debating, the diet, sexual practice, kindness. When necessary, Maun Vrat is practiced, silence. And next night, too much. I'll explain what is Maun Vrat. Marital, as a prayer for marriage problem. Straightforwardness, politeness, graciousness. That is a catch. Because you know, when you're fasting, when you're doing your prayers, that is the day you just get vexed. You just be irritable, you're tired. Let me be fair, you're tired. You're hungry too. And now Pandit telling you to be gracious and be polite, it is yag. Yag means sacrifice. You go beyond that strain. Be careful. Don't invite people by your house and you can't even say Sitaram. Oh, them poor, I do have to tell them Sitaram. Or them from Trinidad, them from Guyana, yeah, I have to tell them Sitaram. Them this of a hog, don't tell them Sitaram. Them come from a Coville, them, don't tell them. Don't be so stupid, please. Please learn. Please improve in your prayer. Let the God in you see the God in whoever walk through that door and treat them with that friendliness. Polite, read your Gita, chapter 12. Friendliness. And in this way, you fixate your mind on Vishnu Baba. And for 7 days, you will go like that, 3 times for the day, in this Kali Yuga. The person should honor the reader on the next day. So follow me, 7 days, the next day would make it the 8th day. When the meaning or the Mahatyam of the Gita, Bhagwat Gita is being referenced, is going to be done. This where the Gita is going to be chanted has value, and I'll touch on it tonight. The Gita is chanted with the Mahatyam, where you hear if I read half the book, Gita is 18 chapter, in that text, Krishna tells Mother Earth, if you read half the book, you will get equivalent blessing to Gaudan. If you read 1/3 of the book, 6 chapters, you will get the blessing as if you do, Lord Shiva, Shiv Yag, Chipran Yag, Som Yag. If the person does this, they will get that. Let that be read on the morning of the 8th day, the 8th session. This is where Gaudan is going to be happening. When you see people giving tulsi plant, in the, let me say, in the temperature, in the Caribbean, we give tulsi. In cold countries, let's say we are up in Canada, we are in the depths of Belgium, and the same thing have to be done, and it is winter time, they give you a flowering plant. Maybe where you have the bulb, those type of tulip thing. The plant is not important. The plant is added value if it be a tulsi plant, so on. But if you go to pray and you see people giving plant, the mud, the land is being given in case their God look to they are given charity. Think what I'm going to explain here for you, why you just give the tulsi plant. You do it, right? Where you do it for? Pandit tell me to do it. The land is being given if the person, the yajman, the person who you're doing the prayers for, in the case of a deceased, if they made a promise and it was not kept, today I give this in charity, karma says, how I give, so I'll get. Please allow the person to become free of never keeping or breaking their promise. Gold is given, garment, clothing is given. On this day, prasad, well, every day, the remnants of the food for the devatas is shared, prasad. Tulsi leaves are offered. Tulsi malas, the different material, that could be shared to people who come to the Yagyashala. Not only the Brahmin, not only children, not only sickly people or differently abled people, people who are in the wheelchair, etc. All people are given gifts. Singing and playing. This is where the drums, the kettle drums, the tasa drums, the dole is played. The tapu in different regions of India, different drum. Drum is hit and the vibration. Why do you hit the drum? The Shakti. When you go wedding, in West Indian culture, when you see they do for the wedding, they call the different element to sit on the drum. It is a form of Durga. You are calling, Ma, come and stand here. Prayers is about to start. And we want your vibration to shake this place. And as the sound energy is pushing, Ma, push away bad. Because when the prayer is going to be closed, that is where unrighteous things can happen. The person who is concluding a yag, they are going to break the mandap. Tomorrow we will not be here. Sometime down the road, husband will go with wife or the person will go with their partner in a sexual way, to be quite clear. Vegetarian goes to non-vegetarian. Somebody might take a drink, to be quite clear. And I don't want, after doing this amount of prayer, to just break my fast. So I am asking permission to do Shama Pratna, to lift the Kalsa, to close with Visarjan, to close off, to return the mud. The Matikur must close off. That mud have to lift when we break in now the mandap. With your permission. And we toting back the mud. Ma, you, what did this do? When did this put the tasa or the tapu in front? When in Coville, they're walking with the mother on them. And they're walking on the streets, wishing everybody health and strength. And the drum is being front, clean the place, clear the environment, walk. In this way, before that mandap is broken, people have to share. That is a day different things are shared, given, but Gayatri has to be charhawid in the offering, in the japin, in the singing. So this is where people, Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha. Vishnu Sahasranam is chanted for the removal of obstacles, removing deficiencies in your prayer. Any type of excess, if I was griping, God, when this prayer got done, I want to eat this, and those thoughts, purifying the person before they separate themselves. Gifts are given to the Pandit. So the people who have different ailments, wash the guys after they do the Gayatri jap, where you are, they go and they wash the foot and you'll see people passing it on the body. Taking a bath, as it were. When people are doing Gaudan to coincide with the closing off of the Bhagwat, they go and they wash the tail of the cow. After all the tarpan was offered on the tail and in the butt of the cow, they touch and they pass it on their body. If the Gau Mutra is taken and they offer it, pass it on their hair. People who have different problems in their mouth, speech problem, impediment, they rinse them out. If nobody never tell you this, I telling you it. They in the book. Gau Mata is blessed in different discourse that the 5 things that come from her, Panch Gavya, is to be used for purification of sin. Milk, so you see when you go wedding, when you go funeral and they bathe in the body or they bathe in the boy, milk, dahi, ghee, I get that, very easy. Gau Mutra or the urine of the cow and gobar. So on the day like in the yag, somebody have cow. Something that a good idea for you to charhawe or give in dan. I want to help you. You have Bhagwat, I want to help you. People make, this is a little one. This is going to be used for the hawan. They take the gobar, they lay dry, and this burns so good. This is my version for it to fit in the small hawan. When you go by Sai Baba's ashram and you're after the vibhuti, the main ingredient is gobar, you know. And it is something that people collect. Those people that have cow, maybe you don't have the money for gold, but you give the gobar so that they use it in the prayer. I will bring the cow urine for you to use. I will charhawi milk. I will give the milk for everybody to get charan amrit. Give these things. What else could be given? The milk, the honey, the ghee, sesame seed, barley, grains, sugar. Priyal is an anti-inflammatory herb. So people pick things like kongolala and they offer it. And then people go say, well, what are you doing that for? Herbs. Priyal is something, is a seed that is collected. It looks like, in Trinidad we have vaj, we grow, birds mess on trees and it grows. It looks something like that. They use it for anti-inflammatory. In other words, we are given things that will help. So if somebody shares something like Kongolala is used when people here getting thin, it is used in the scalp. People share it. This brings me to an important question. If somebody asks you, what you're going to Sarahawi, I have a little seed here. I want you to think what I'm saying. I see people is give Baba, he sweat a lot, they just give him towel. I don't know what it is give this for. Let me, in a nutshell, I've given you the answer. Time running away from it. Whenever Garud Puran is one place you'll find this. Cotton stuff. We give cotton on the bedi. We give the Durga Murti a sari. We give pundits a cloth. It could be a kurta. It could be whatever. Things are going good with me. Bless me when things are not good. Karma is how I give, so I get. Bless me the day things are not going good. The day death is coming. The day the accident is coming. The day I cannot think in a moment. And I put it in English for you to follow. In a moment, Om Namah Shivaya, I can't call you. I get so frightened. I forget to call God's name. I'm doing it while things are good. Come and save me, even if I don't call you. Krishna Arpan. Here I have, I'm not advertising the brand or who packaged it. This is black till. I see black till going when they had tarpan, when they're taking out the food, in the pinda, all over. And then you remember, on the day when the Bhagwat closing, I am going to put the sweat of Lord Vishnu. Black till, and I have white till. The three till. From his face in that discourse came white till, chest, brown till, legs, black till. The sin that the person make with their mind, white till, giving it, dear God forgive me. Brown till are giving it in charity. If the sin this mouth is make, lies, false witness, etc. Forgive me, God. Black till, this hand, oh God, the amount of thief, the amount of I hit the wife, the amount of things I do my husband, God forgive me. Are given this in charity, not only for the pundit, but when people put it in the food to share, to take out, etc. Barley is what we will crush to go and make. This is how you call this? Pearl barley. It have different varieties. Barley is the seed. It still has nourishment. People process this and make other, flour type ingredients, right? This is where it is listed here that because of the nutritional content and you're giving it in Dan, you will get the nutrition come into your body, blood count, etc. What I have here, just to touch on it, clove, lung. I've gone to prayer and I see since I small my grandmother them pouring clove in Lapsi and Sohari, Guyanese would say puri. I've seen people put clove in Hawan. I've seen people put clove all over. People jar with clove. Tonight, as a Hindu, tell me, why it is do that, ma? Simple language. Where it is put the clove for? Then you remember, Durga, when they're doing the funeral, the third stop is Durga. Ma, come out from the body. She is in charge of the fire element. She lives in spices. Spices is used because of the fire content. I am giving this in charity, Mother. Bless me that the fire, in the example of the Lapsi and Sohari, in the example of the Puri, if in this house, in this family, in this relationship, there's going to be argument, in just one example, Ma, as I give this in Dan, please bless me, karma-wise, to get rid of that heat, that animosity, that fire. the Janev, when I go to read in what we say after the funeral in the 10-day period, where we cannot do prayer, we cannot share food, we cannot eat food, etc. The Janev was given because the Baba had to change the Janev string. By giving that assistance, this rids people of headache, migraine, for example, people who have the tendency in the family to get tumors in the head. Give this in charity, and the blessing that will come will be that problem will disappear or dissipate. Grains, up to now you will hear Mommy Baba, oh boy, you're giving done, Baba giving charity. But what is the criteria? I just have a couple here. Every grain, I have lentils, I have mung, how you call this, urdi, chana, the small chana, and red bean, just a couple. You are supposed to give grains because if I plant it, it will grow. A grain is fertile. So the content of the grain is the quality that you are giving, the life. When you put the coconut in the fire, the coconut is be whole. If I plant it, it will grow because of the Shakti, the energy in it. I am giving in school we say potential energy, potential to grow. If I plant this red bean, in a week time we have a plant. I am giving that Shakti in charity. Bless me, that fertility, that prosperity will come back to me. For this reason, the whole fixation on white rice, brown rice, none go grow. For that reason, if you want to give rice, you could put a little bit down. You know why we have these size? Nobody else say it had to be this size, you know. This is the size that they sell in the grocery. If you want to put big bag, put big bag. If you can't and you afford a little bag, put the little bag. Sometimes it's not the quantity, but the quality of the gift. For that reason, if somebody said, well, I wish to give you, I know you like white rice, I've given you white rice, that's fine. But then put a little piece of foil, Ziploc, with some hill rice or the dan where it have the paddy, meaning when I plant it, it will grow. Consider what I'm saying. You're doing prayers, you're giving charity, but why you're doing it? I'm not Johnny. And the last one, salt. This I want to spend a little second with. I understand from our conversation that I'm fasting from meat and other things. But why does fast from salt for? And I've spoken about this in different discourse. Ashok Sundari is the daughter of Lord Shiva. And in a particular argument, this is the part where Ganesh Baba loses his head. The daughter is hiding behind a bag of salt. So mother, Peter pay for Paul kind of thing. In this whole melee, you cut off my son's head and she vexed with Lord Shiva and she turns on, she see the girl hiding. She says, you afraid me? Go and live in the salt. And when the whole melee was finished, that's the part where the elephant head is now on Ganesh Baba. Mother Durga takes up the gova and she is feeding Ganesh Baba gova. If you ever go Ganesh Utsav and you've seen people making gova leaf mala and they put in gova fruit for him, that's his fruit. By the way, she went one side with his son and she feeding his son. Lord Shiva hold on to Ashok Sundari and he says, babe, because of fear, your mother pronounced and she words have to come to pass. So you will become the life, the energy, the vitality of salt, namak. So if you ever go to your Indian store, if you go to Patel Brothers and you come across a box marked Kitchen Queen really refers to this girl, Ashok Sundari, the daughter of Lord Shiva. People use it, they commercialize it for different seasoning, but the Kitchen Queen reference this table salt, what we call sodium chloride. Because you could use all the seasoning and all the pepper, nothing compares to what this will do in a pot. You become the main ingredient. Then he told her, and this is where it comes to our prayer, because your fear caused you to live in this. If a person could abstain from salt, let's say I'm having prayer, I fast from salt, the fear that they have, they will overcome it. I'm afraid I failed the exam. Fast from salt, do your prayer. For example, then the person has a fear. Let's say we are doing bandara or some shrad for somebody who passed away. I'm afraid that person, when they reach the Yamraj, they're going to suffer. Give it in charity. So that when it is given in Dan, the person are giving this on behalf of John Doe. When John Doe, the soul, reached the Yamraj by these type of gift, It ain't no fear again. The blessing is you are freed from the fear. So it is this is the reason we put saltless articles in our prayer, in our bedi, in our puja, the sweet rice, the manbhog, etc. But we share salt food for our guests to get and earn that karmic benefit. And the last place, when the person, what did this do again? When you give it in your Siddha, not for general people, it is a bit too much to remember. Forgive me sometimes. We give it to people, and then in your puja, it is a content. It is one of the things that's supposed to be in your Siddha. I am doing my prayer, afraid, I'm celebrating birthday. I don't know what next birthday will bring if I'll be alive. I'm celebrating anniversary. I don't know what tomorrow will bring. I am celebrating this family. I don't know what tomorrow will bring. But I am giving this in Dan. Please take away that fear from my heart. Bless me to be free from depression, free from anxiety, etc. Vindravan Biharilala ki jai. In this way, the person gives these type of articles in charity. And after they do it, after the Pandits have chanted the Sahasranam and they have chanted the Gita, you wash their feet and you take the water, the washing of their feet, and you pass it on your head. And in this way now, it is time to go by where the book is being kept. Slok 45. The book, when the prayer is going to be closed, should be placed on, wrapped in cloth, if golden cloth is available, very capable. In today's world, we also use Harinam cloth, where you see the kanhawar, when a person is authorized by their guru to ascend to the Singhasan, where they can be labeled Vyas, they use the kanhawar. If a person is young and they are not vetted, they are not authorized by a senior pandit or a guru to reach, is not just, okay, you feel you could talk, so you jump up on the Singhasan and you go. You are supposed to be given, initiated, given the authority by sign of that shawl. That shawl means something, that you are of a different status, a different stature, and from Purohit you get to ascend to Vyas. The person wraps the book now. It is time to close the yag, and the Bhagwat is going to be worshipped. So the person does prayer, worship, mantras chanted, the arti, they put their mala, they put their prasad, they do all these things at the closing of the prayer. And in order to get apt blessing, just before they do the circumambulation, they put it on the back of the image of a lion, or the seat of a lion, where the lion is sitting, for example. To facilitate this, the asan, where the book is being placed, is referred to as Singh asan, or the seat of the lion. The person who is reading should practice fearlessness. The person should practice truthfulness. And this is why sometimes when you see I am talking, I can speak for myself. Everybody just have to forgive me. But if I am speaking and I am unbridled and I am talking truth and I am telling you as it is, this is how we should be when you are doing your discourse. In this way, this is how the name where the Vyas is sitting is called Singh Asan, because it represents a place of bravery, but it is the place where, as if Vishnu Baba is sitting on the back of this lion, not so much the man who reads the book, but the book that represents the God is sitting now on this lion's throne. And there, after fixing him, the person is given the opportunity to say their prayer and circumambulate or walk around. This is the time where you will hear in today's world where the Shivaram stotra, Shiva Hare, Shiva Rama, all that prayer is saying, make me victorious, God. Take away all my weaknesses, destroy Krishna, Ram, Shiva, Devi. I call upon you. I have been praying for this, that, and the other, and it is time now for my desire. I am saying the boon that I am praying for with my devotion, dear God. This is what I have been asking for. Please help me. And the person puts their mind. This is the time when all the people that came and helped cook, the people that assisted in different ways, all donors, all well-wishers, people that assisted in picking flowers, they all get the opportunity to get that burden, to walk around, to touch that book, rest their head. They are all fit to do it. In this way, this book becomes supreme amongst all other Puran. Narad, this is why of the 18 Puranic texts that exist, it is labeled as a Mahapuran. It is this moment it becomes Sri Bhagwat. Bhagwat, we spoke about what Bhagwat means. It is the body of Bhagavan. The body of that form. Bhagavan means the one who holds all the bhaga, all the lusts, all the illustrious blessings and goodness that me and you need. He is sitting in the pages of this text. And when the individual, regardless to their dress, regardless to their background, regardless to their financial status, they go and they offer their head with heartfelt prayer and with devotion, knowing that these 12 skand, the 12 section in this book will remove the sins that they have accrued. And when the sins start to burn away, O Narad, these 18,000 verses will bring help and health to their life. When this was being repeated to Narad, Gyan and Vairag, the two, where I said Bhakti had two sons, the two old boys, they became transformed young. The knowledge was completed. And now the people listening to the Yag, because they had gained this knowledge in their heart, in their mind. Look at you tonight listening to this discourse. You may be watching me on Sankhya, you may be watching me on Bhakti TV, on different networks in Suriname, and for those following in Guyana, in Trinidad, wherever you are, in America, Canada, wherever. Look at you tonight, listening to what we have just spoken about in the detail and the depths of our Bhagwat. Did something, did that chit, the voice inside of you say, you know what, I want to go, I want to see Bhagwat. You know, I never get to do that. You know, it coming up in the temple. It coming up, it happening. This year, this time, I'm making sure. I'll make the time. And God bless you, do it. Be the person to make it sweet. Be the person, buy 2 fig. Pick 2 flowers. Find the time and go and do it right. With the Gyan, the person could give up all the things we fret over. And for that little time, the person could practice devotion. They make time. They forget all the job and all the things that I could have been doing. And let me just say, you could have been watching the news. But I'm not going to hold on to that practice. I am going to deviate and I am going to practice devotion. We listen to the different forms of devotion. If it just be listen to the prayer, darshan, and watch the prayer on the television, I'm going to practice my bhakti. And by doing it, by being motivated by these types of discourse, the person is allowed to touch the feet of Krishna. Emancipation for helpless people. Oh, Narad, is possible. And Narad put his hand together and he rested his head by the Vyas, by his brothers, and he said, my dear brothers, today marks the end of my Saptaha Bhagwat. For all the recitation, for all the listening, I have been able to benefit, and all these people have been able. You have brought Mahavishnu close to me. Look, Shiv Baba has come to our Yagya. Parvati Mata has come. Brahma is sitting here. And Vishnu Baba appeared. Vishnu Baba was already there listening to all that was going on. And he says, Vishnu now is talking to them. Just as Prahalad called, I came. When Yudhava called, we talked about Yudhav Gita. In last night's discourse, it mentioned it. When Yudhav played his hands, I came. When Narad is calling, I come. When Arjun is calling, I come. When anybody calls upon this Bhagwat, when they utilize the knowledge to gain the bhakti, I come. In the same way, ask me for your boon, O Narad. He says, Prabhu, bless every person that listens to the Mahatyam of the Bhagwat, that whatever pain, whatever distress, whatever hurt they are undergoing, allow them by your grace to overcome it. Replace the abuse, replace the pain, replace the anxiety, replace the fear with love. Your love, God, nobody else love. Give the person the platform to find you. And all Mahavishnu said, Tatastu, Swasti, so be it. And he disappeared. The four brothers says, Prabhu, by your grace, even in the age of Kali Yuga, people who have different obstacles and hindrances, bad karma, they will worship you and they will overcome it. They will be able to ascend and find forgiveness and liberation. In the same way Gaukaran did, in the same way Dundukari did, and so many other people. Narad wants to know, tell me, you spoke about who narrated, you talked about Gaukaran narrated. Tell me a little bit. When did that happen? Time is turning. When did this thing happen? Sudji says to Saunak Rishi, the first time Bhagwat was chanted, Sukdev Goswami relates to Parikshit, Raja Parikshit, the grandson of Arjun. On the 9th day, the Naumi day, Bhadrapada, latter part August into September, when it was 300 years into Kali Yuga, after the day Krishna leaves, and then Yudhishthira, according to Mahabharata, he wants to give the throne to Parikshit. After some time, Parikshit ends up in trouble. Gaukaran read his yagya for Dundukari and the others on the Naumi day in the bright half of Jesh. After 200 years had passed, after Raja Parikshit had gone, after the Devi Bhagwat was read for Parikshit's son, all that was done. Then Gaukaran came. Then the Bhagwat Mahatyam was written. O Brahman, and now the Yag of Narad is read in the Bhagwat Mahatyam 1,000 years into Kali Yuga, after the time of Parikshit. This Yag or the Mahatyam is being read for the benefit of those people that will listen to it. For this reason, O Narad, allow any person to study it, follow it, listen to it, use it, remember it, recall it, play it back for somebody. Now today we have YouTube, we have different stations, we have methods. Use it somehow. That a person who with devotion listens to time and time again the historical accounts contained in the Sri Bhagwat Mahapuran, no matter what is their situation, no matter what is their condition or their ailment, they will be able to rise above it in this life and after life leaves. If the Brahman, if the Kshatri, if the Vaishya, if the Sudra, if all listen to Bhagwat, Bhagwat is for everybody. Not for some. Not for good people, as we say, and bad people can't come. We want everybody. And this, devotees, is Bhagwat. This is how you dress it. This is why you dress. This is how you come to the prayer. This is your mindset. This is a description tonight on everything I have painted for you to the best of my ability. How to use the tool of Bhagwat so that you can fight the fight and nail the nails in your life. Face the challenges correctly. But don't fall for Kali Yuga. The best are the best, myself included, Raja Parikshit included. He's the grandson of the Pandavas and he falls. His son Jan Bijay, who is the guy listening to the whole Devi Bhagwat, he falls. People make mistakes. But when you don't know, my Pandit, let me be frank, my Pandit never teach me that. I never know that. Right, good, good. God bless, we get to talk. This is not, I am a better Pandit, to be quite clear. At this age, after all these years of doing prayers, these old knees and hips are getting quite tired. And I am not rushing to do prayers for everybody. I take my time to read. I support my brother pundits. I help you prepare for your prayers when they come to do your prayer. Because as a group, we have to work together if our children and young are going to propagate our Dharma the correct way. People get from different Dharma, get into our Dharma, and they tell you what you pray to is wrong. That is the bigger picture. You have to know the innards of your Dharma, and this is what I have strived to do in what we heard is Gyan Yagna. If we take the time in Gyan Yagna to only sing, brothers and sisters, you are throwing away the karma that you have accrued in your life. And you're wasting the opportunities that you could be doing your prayer better. You could be doing it different. That would yield a different outcome, a betterment for yourself and for the next generation. Put your hands together. Just one or two verses of the Mahatyam. This is where we are getting ready. See the people walking around the Bedi, they are walking around the book. If the makeup of the place allows it, they are doing arti by the book. The yag is coming to an end, and all the cooks, all the people that came, and they were sweating. And if you ever had the experience, tears are coming from your body. Tomorrow we will not be together. And it is time to lift the Khalsa. It is time now for us to go. And everybody is in their mind, in their emotion, and they are talking, God, you put me, you give me the strength to do this yag. Thank you for the opportunity. I don't know if I will live to see it again. And then you'll hear the Pandit. Mahapapa di papani Gita dhyanam karoti chet Spashit sparsham nakurvanti nalani dhalam ambavet. Just as water cannot stain the leaf when the rain fall and it hit the leaf, it don't change the color, it don't bleach the leaf, for example. So too, when a person has done sin, when a person has had a past, that sin will not taint the person who recites the Bhagavad Gita. Sarvadevascharshiyo yogina pankagayaschaye gopala gopika vyapi narad yudava parashare. Where the Gita is, all the devatas, all the sages, all the yogins, all the nagas, all the gopals, gopikas, the people who, friends of Krishna, Narad Muni, Yudava, we mentioned him, and all positive, come dear. Help come quickly to those people who recite the Gita. I dwell where the Gita is read, taught, where it is contemplated. And this is why at the end of the prayer, Gita part is chanted. Where the book is given, you'll see when you come yag by me, many pundits come and they bring Gita book in bag. I don't know how much, 100. Imagine every day Gita book going home with people here. The Babas contribute. The Babas bring cloth, you offer, and every time, if I have 50 shota, depending, I tell everybody, and I'm saying it to you now, if you would like to sit for prayer, you understand the criteria, the fasting, but Baba, in today's world, I have nobody to help. I have no ways, no assistance. We don't have cousins like long time to cut up, to carry and cook. I can't dream in this world of sin to have a Bhagwat in my home. No problem. We have it in the temple. Find yourself. You have my number. It's on the screen. Call, reserve a spot. I would like to sit on the, I'm just making up now, Tuesday evening. People call Mommy Baba every day. I would like to sit. My belly will be in order. I would like to sit on the Wednesday midday session. I want to book. I want to have a space that day. 50 people, we will get 50 sari, cloth. Don't study the dress, study to offer, give down. We will help you. We will cook the food. Other people will come and cook. All my teenagers are in that kitchen. I'm there. When you see I finish reading, I run down in the kitchen. We turn in pot because I want them to learn. Call it a summer camp. In any way, in every way, we could assist. We at the ashram, and I have a huge team of people, and God bless them. Tomorrow we have Sunday service. If I could only turn this camera, you would not believe the chaos that clothes. We have a clothes drive next week Saturday, and people throughout the country have been sending clothes, and we have to set it out so that when visitors come and they see, okay, I like that pants, medium size, that's my color, I want it, they don't have to dig through. So these people come from early in the morning, sometimes they're here till late in the night, and they do Seva. People are going to come to cook. They're coming to train. Get involved. You want to be part of it? You just make a good pepper roti. Get involved. A lady just make doubles. She called me just before I came to read. And she says, Babs, I want to get involved on the morning when we are doing the Gita, the closing session on the 10th. That morning, she's coming and we will have doubles. We don't trouble people to cook, is start early with the prayers, and that is why everybody focus on the prayers. So that morning we will cater doubles and everybody just get a plate, and to encourage children, you go see them making zabuka takari to go in the doubles, cheese paste, different thing, tamarind sauce, whatever they like, they are free. If anybody knows me, I believe when you come to prayers, if a child run and make your noise, man. Make your noise. You're free. Be respectful, no man, woman, disrespectful thing, those things, not that. But you're free. If you cry, you cry. If your body vibrate, the other person sitting next to you, they should mind their business and be praying for themselves and not studying why this person next to me shaking like that. Don't make those mistakes, but I am opening the door. Reach out, call me. You have my number. Send me a WhatsApp. Send me an email. Send me a message on Facebook. Wherever you feel, send me. If you're watching me on TikTok, send me. And God bless you with the karma that you could find yourself in something like this. Tonight, my time run away. Just remember, I'm the pundit with the hammer, teaching you how to use your tool. My nephew watching me behind the computer laughing. I hope you remember some of the things, a lot of things we talk about tonight. Think about people do yag, temple people and ordinary people alike, and they don't know Agni Vyas when you're setting a date, what you're looking for. It is not, I'm a busy person, and maybe in a perfect sense, I would like to say, okay, let's do the prayer when I have time. It doesn't work like that. You only have so much time. Shivratri is one day, one night, and you want the blessing, and I have to face God too. So for my young pundits, I'm telling you, please remember you have to face God too. Give people the best. Do your diligence. You don't know how to check Agni Vyas? Privately. Send me a message. Nobody has to know. How to check those things, how to check Yogini in the chat. At my time when I did know, people like Pandit Parasram, Pandit Krsna in my life, Pandit Anand, I will pick up the phone now. I don't know everything. I pick up the phone. Babs, where's this? My brother Pandits, Pandit Neil and different people, I'll pick up the phone. Pandit Jisnu, what is this? What is this? Outside the country in Guyana, there are different Pandits in the States. There are people who know their stuff. Babs, what is this? Where could I find this resource? Where could I find the katha with this? Hanuman Baba got married in one discourse, the daughter of Surya Narayan. Where is that discourse? Could you help me? Could you guide me? And yes, they call me and they ask me, I have to do this discourse on where Panchmukh Hanuman come from, where the history of the wife of Ravan, Mandodari, where she came from. I heard something about a frog. And we share information. Sometimes humility is admitting that you don't know it all. But when you don't know, you find out. And then you get the confidence to go and teach. But if you are not a praying person, what are you encouraging people to do? Pray. If you are a stranger to Gayatri, if you don't say your mantras, Pandits, and you want people to feel and benefit from your yag, in that hypocrisy, What are you teaching? What will they feed on? Diksha is where the invisible, in this Abhya Mudra, when Murti has this, Diksha is the unseen energy that flows from the source, where the parent, the guru, the God, is giving the unseen energy to the individual. I bless you. What does it mean? I am sharing my energy, my accrued energy, that I have done jap, I have done seva, I have done tirat, I have done prayer, and I would like to give you some. May you have it easier. May your burden be lifted. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you see some change. If I could help you, please reach out. Humbly, I'm saying, reach out in whichever way. This is Gyan Yag. So when now we are going forward, and where it applies to you, please, if you're watching this on the repeat, many people, when I'm doing this course, make notes. It's a lot of information. And I'm sorry that our religion, our dharma is so intricate. And knowing the innards about our dharma is the answer to doing the best prayer. Go over it, rewind it. This is why I'm making it this way. Thank God for different mode and different transmitters that are pushing it so that you could get it wherever you live. If you're isolated, for those people that are working in the oil industry in different parts of Texas, Alaska, in different parts of Russia, if you're living in these kind of remote places, in Fiji, the Sub-Saharan Fiji and Mauritius, and you can benefit from the little things that I've touched on, God bless you. Not this pundit. God bless you that this information reach your ears. I hope, everybody, that you can appreciate what we at the ashram are trying, and as a pundit and others that came together to make this happen. You're seeing me, but trust me, it have more people watching me. The sound system, the everything, it takes a group effort to make it happen. And this humble offering is just 3 nights of Bhagwat Mahatyam, the greatness. And in the last verse here, he says, may the person who is unhappy be blessed with happiness. Dear Parvati, this brings an end to the question, the answer to the question, Lord Shiva says, that you had asked. This is the greatness of the Srimad Bhagwat Puran. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Put your hands together, and I'm giving you a chance to say a prayer just before we close. The Achyutam Ashtakam, just a couple of verses and we finish. Achyutam Keshavam Ramanarayanam Krishna Damodaram Vasudevam Hari Sridharam Madhavam Gopika Vallabham Janaki Nayakam Ramachandram Bhaje Achyutam Keshavam Satya Bhamadavam Madhavam Sridharam Radhika Raditam Indira Mandiram Chetasa Sundaram Devaki Nandanam Nandajam Sandade Vishnave Jishnave Shankane Chakrani Rukmani Ragini Janiki Janave Vallavi Vallave Archite Atmane Kamsavid Vamshini Vamshini Te Nama Krishna Govinda He Ramanarayana Shripate Vasudeva Archite Srinidhi Achyuta Ananta He Madhava Duksaja Dwaraka Nayaka Draupadi Rakshaka Achyutam Keshavam Ramanarayanam Krishna Damodaram Vasudevam Hari Sridharam Madhavam Gopika Vallabham Janaki Nayakam Ramachandram Bhaje. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Everybody, as I conclude tonight, my nephew recently wrote SKSA. and I'm getting to spend some time with him. He have time for me now, Mamu. So now I get to read because I like to do this with him. He tech savvy, so he sits with all the camera and everything. I believe not this week coming with the closed drive we occupied on the 5th, but the following week you'll see me reading something for you again. As we work towards Shravan is coming, the Monday Vrat, the Somvar Vrat, what you're doing, why you're doing it. And in that 4th Sunday before it closes, we'll be in Bhagwat again. Everybody, tonight as we conclude, God bless you. I hope, as I said, I've been talking truth. If I said anything that, you thought it was raw when I was talking about testosterone and so on, I apologize. I did not mean to offend anybody, but I wanted to say the truth. Let's say our final pratna before we conclude tonight. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva tvameva bandhu cha sakha tvameva Tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva Om Shanti, everybody. Shanti, Shanti, Hari Om. Prem Sabalo Mahapati Mahadeva ki jai, Pavana Sutta Hanuman ki jai, Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki jai, Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai, Satya Sanatan Dharma ki jai, Jai Jai, Sitaram. Sitaram, everybody. Until next time, God bless you and bless your family. Bye-bye. Sitaram, everybody. And as we get set to listen to tonight's discourse, before we go, I just go into the Yagna. I want to invite each and every person for Bhagwat 2025 at the Sri Krishna Seva Ashram. You are all invited. Whether you would like to help us cook, get involved in making mala, bring your children so that we can teach them, or maybe you would like to sit for prayer. Once you follow the rules of fasting and preparing yourself that we all know and we've come to practice when we have prayer, the door is open for you to come and take part. Please give me a call. You have my number on the screen. When the Yagna starts, use it. Call me for more information. The dates on the invitation, again, from the 3rd to the 10th of August. I am cordially inviting you and your family. Come sit in the audience. Come sit for prayer. Do what you would like. Get involved in some way. And it begins with a phone call. It begins with reaching out, calling me, texting me, and we'll do it together. See you soon. I hope you enjoy your satsang. Have fun, everybody. Sitaram.